everybody. It's November of 2019, and we have the final aspect of Saturn Sextile Neptune happening this year. Saturn is traveling along through Capricorn, and Neptune is traveling along through Pisces, and they're forming a harmonious connection called a sextile in the sky. And it's been going on all year. Now it's finally coming to a close. This has been really nice. It has added a sweetness and inspiration, and really, I think, quite a bit of hope as a sort of an undercurrent to other themes going on this year. It has, I think, reduced stress for a lot of us. I have a blog post, which you'll find in the YouTube description below, called Saturn Sextile Neptune for All Who Work and Imagine. And in this blog post, there are pictures of the three hits. The first one was in January, Saturn and Neptune sextiled at 14 degrees. The second hit happened in June. That was in 18 degrees of their signs. And then the third one is the one happening this month at 16 degrees of their signs, and it's precise on November 8th. Now, why does this matter? Saturn in Capricorn, which is its own sign, and it loves to be there, is all about structure, is all about professionalism, and can be power hungry, can be punitive, can be like the bad father or the good father. But suffice it to say that Saturn is very strong in Capricorn and is all about building things. Now, Neptune, in its own sign of Pisces, is very much the dreamer, very much imaginative, even spiritual and otherworldly. So you have here the connection of two planets with very different natures, but which synergize magnificently. Saturn is worldly, Neptune is otherworldly. Saturn is the doer, Neptune is the dreamer. So you put the two of those two things together, and you have a capacity to dream the dream and make it real in the physical world. And that's just wonderful. Now, the thing to know about harmonious aspects like this one is that we often don't even notice them. And that's because human beings, having the nature that we do, we tend to scratch where it itches. And so what we notice are the hard aspects. And there has been one going on this year. But that has really grabbed a lot of our attention. So this transit has the capacity, if you are paying attention, if you can bring your consciousness to making use of it, instead of having all of your attention pulled to the negative, this has the capacity for you to be able to trim your dreams down to what is doable, and then take that dream and make it a reality within this year. But it's coming to a close. So if you haven't been doing that, now is the time before it ends. Further down the blog post, you'll find a fun story that's just meant to illustrate what this can mean, how this can look in life. So I suggest you go to the blog post and read it and have some fun with that. Julia, do you have thoughts about Saturn Sextile Neptune and what use people could be making of it this month?
Yeah. Well, I think you covered a lot of it. I mean, what I have to add is that Saturn and Neptune are both really strong because they're in their own signs. So this makes this exceptionally a bit potent. And Saturn representing that brick wall of reality. It's the material world. It's having to earn a paycheck in order to give yourself enough food or pay for rent. It's the things that you just can't neglect or gloss over, or else your reality will begin to crumble. Mm-hmm. And Neptune is another order of reality beyond this world. It's kind of like if Saturn is black and white television, Neptune brings in the Technicolor. It's kind of psychedelic, also in the sign of Pisces. Sure. So it's like marrying the material and the spiritual worlds together. It's being able to offer both practical and compassionate or ethereal support to somebody somebody else. I mean, this combination really makes me think about maybe starting a business which is rooted in idealism and being successful and being able to sort of marry and combine those two worlds together.
Yeah, philanthropic endeavors, charitable endeavors that could
Right.
actually be self-sustaining.
Yeah, and grounded in reality too. Not too pie in the sky, but
Right.
maybe forming a functional, practical business which can maybe have some greater compassionate or idealistic purpose.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about a harmonious aspect between planets of such different natures. They want to bow to each other. They want to honor each other and to bend towards each other. So Neptune, which ordinarily would take us right out of the world into escapism, looks to Saturn and says, is there any way that I can work with that structure you've got going over there? And Saturn, which ordinarily might be kind of inflexible, looks to Neptune and says, you've got imagination, and that could, infuse my structures with something inspiring,
Yeah, like
something ethical.
maybe for my structures.
Yeah. Now, the hard aspect that's going on this year that has a lot of people distracted is Jupiter square Neptune. And for that one, the sort of the key phrase I was using was mass delusion. Because between Jupiter and Neptune, neither one of those is going to help us be grounded, be in reality. Because Neptune is escapist and Jupiter is expansionist. So that aspect has actually been characterized by a lot of zealotry, a lot of, pumping up large groups of people with fantasies that are grounded in nothing at all. Kind of like a big con game, let's say. And this Saturn-Neptune sextile is sort of an antidote for that, and suggests ways that Neptune energy that Jupiter is kind of trying to distract could be grounded into some Saturnine good works. And I really, really like that combination. So this year, the aspect between Saturn and Neptune has happened at 14 degrees and 18 degrees and 16 degrees. And what that means is that if you have anything in your chart between 14 and 18 degrees of either cardinal signs, which is where Saturn is, or mutable signs, which is where Neptune is, then there's a chance that you could make really good use of this aspect. Most particularly, I think people who could benefit from this are those born with their sun between 14 and 18 degrees of Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, and Virgo. And that would mean being born between about the 4th and the 8th of the month in your sign. And so this transit could be really, really helpful. But like I said before, you have to notice it, you have to use it, you have to be deliberate about grabbing its potential and acting on it, because it's not such a big itch that you've got to scratch it. Not like the Jupiter square Neptune. Gosh, is there anything else I wanted to say about this, Julia?
I think we covered the bases.
Kind of peeking at my notes, but yeah, I think that we're going to feel this transit throughout November. I think we'll feel it into December as well. And that by the time the year ends, this influence will be well gone, and we'll be into the influences that are coming for next year. So this is definitely a use it or lose it situation. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You can find more great stuff like this on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology on YouTube. And we usually organize it into playlists, so you can look at the playlist of just a few news videos of the month. And also while you're there, check out your horoscopes. And feel free to visit pandoraastrology.com/blog, where you will find a ton of free articles about your sign and all of the others. And we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.